Thank you, Senator Pacquiao. Before I recognize Senator Binay, tanungin ko lang sa Bucor at saka sa BJMP. No? Alam naman natin na yung penal system natin, di ba, more than punitive, rehabilitative. Tanungin ko lang, meron bang special rehabilitation program ang Bucor for inmates convicted for violating the Dangerous Drugs Act?
Good morning po. Wala pong specific rehabilitation program for drug dependence, sir. General, sir, yung treatment namin sa lahat ng inmates on the aspect of reformation, sir.
Good morning, sir. Sa case po ng BJMP, considering that we are holding majority of our inmates are still detainees, so wala po kaming rehabilitation program na ano po talaga. Pero we are offering welfare and development activities for the inmates. For example, in coordinations with the DepEd, the Alternative Learning System program is also offered in our facilities. Sa TESDA po yung mga technical programs, education trainings, and also we also have this behavioral shaping activity, yung therapeutic community modality program, na pwede rin po ngang i-adapt namin doon sa community, especially doon sa mga nag-surrenders na drug dependents.
Wala ring isolation program sa Bucor. Sama-sama na. As a convict,
Sa ngayon, sir,
ang classification na lang, maximum, medium,
and minimum, sir.
and minimum.
Yes, sir. But
So walang isolation program para sa mga drug convicts.
none, sir. Ang meron lang
BJMP
kami,
wala rin.
In view of the sir, kakulangan sa space, hindi po talaga ma-isolate.
Yeah, you were about to say something pa.
sa ngayon lang, sir, meron lang, sir, kami yung high risk in-isolate po namin from the maximum. Ito, sir, yung tinatawag nating, kuminsan tinatawag namin sa Bucor na Supermax. Ito po yung Building 14 na composed of most of these inmates, numbering 54, ay involved po sa illegal drugs, sir.
Senator Nasan. With the permission of Senator Binay.
Mr. Chairman, to Rolly, no, and June, can you furnish your committee as far back as you can record, no? Broad strokes. Nakakailang raid o halughog na ba tayo sa NBP? Okay?
Yes, sir.
Don't answer that now, no? It must be a comprehensive report. And then, ano ang outcome? Nakakailan na, no? As far as you can remember. Dahil, Mr. Chairman, my point is, we cannot do this forever. Raid tayo ng raid. Something must be wrong. Diba? So I go back to history. How many raids have been conducted as far as you can remember? Or let's say last 6 years. Ganun na lang. No? And then ano ang outcome? And then ano ang ginawa after the raid? Because almost on a daily basis, no? Or weekly basis, may nire-raid. May na-uncover. The same materials. Cellphones, deadly weapons, drugs, television sets, high-tech. Paulit-ulit. There must be an end to this. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Nasan. Senator Binay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Secretary Rojas, kanina po nabanggit nyo na may 600,000 na ho na nag-surrender. Ano na ho yung estado ng mga taong ito? Nakakulong ho ba sila? Or pinasok ho ba natin sa isang rehab center? Or pinauwi lang ho natin?
Thank you, ma'am, for the question. The picture is we have about 600,000 surrenderers, but from our study, only about 9% of the 600,000 needs confined rehabilitation, ma'am. So the rest could undergo program requiring physical, mental, and other programs designed by the Department of Health. So and we are also inviting the different interfaith groups to assist us. For example, yung Christ Commission Fellowship, they have their own program, 6-month program, and the rate of success is about 70%. So we're inviting other interfaith groups to join us in this program, outpatient program or counseling program for those that do not need confinement.
How do you measure that, ho? Yung 9% na ito, kailangan i-confine, ito pwedeng ganitong treatment lang. Is there a way of testing it?
Ma'am, may program po ang DOH to determine alin po dito ang kailangan ng confinement, alin dito ang pwedeng outpatient program. So, doon po sa initial screening, may mga 10-11 questionnaires tayo. Check lang kung more than 4 checks doon sa list natin, evaluate ng DOH doctors kung talagang kailangan ba ng outpatient or kailangan na i-confine yung pasyente.
Siguro, Asek Punzalan, baka you can explain further.
Thank you very much po. Dr. Elmer Punzalan po, Assistant Secretary, Department of Health, in charge of the Dangerous Drugs Abuse Prevention Control Treatment Program of the Department of Health. We had consolidations and consolidated meetings with Secretary Basco and Secretary Suena and the Dangerous Drugs Board and the PDEA. I belong to the cluster 1. It was subdivided into 3 clusters. The cluster 1 headed by yours truly. Cluster 2, which are the religious group headed by our religious, the UBAS. And then the cluster 3 for rehabilitation headed by the DSWD. And of course, I requested all of the different departments to be a part of all the 3 clusters. Now, in the meantime, we have drafted a mechanism. First, delineating, or we call it triaging, of the different kind of patients, as we call them, or surrenderers, into categories like their degree of addiction. They could be occasional users, they could be which are only supplementers and experimenters, and then we have the moderately addicted individuals, and of course the heavy drug users. And on top of this all, they are also evaluated with regards to the comorbidities, the comorbidities involving medical aspects like mental health, and also tuberculosis, pulmonary, and also HIV, the injecting drug users.
Asek Punzalan, can you please provide the committee yung clustering nyo and then a breakdown of, kunyari, yung kung ilan ho yung kasama doon sa classification na yun?
Yes, Madam Senator, we have a list and we have a provision of the of this your inquiry, and it is written down, and we have provided this in a form of a manual, and in coordination also with the other agencies that I have mentioned, for a complete response to the increasing number of surrenderers, as we call them. And we call our drug users as recovering drug dependents. Madam Senator.
Thank you po, Asek. Yung nabanggit niyo 9% needs confinement. So I assume out of the 600,000, yung 9% ang naka-confine?
Not yet, ma'am. For example, we only have about 44 drug rehabilitation centers all over the country with a bed capacity of about 5,000. So kulang na kulang po talaga, ma'am. So the President has instructed to put up rehabilitation centers doon sa mga military at PNP camps na kung saan pwedeng magtayo na may space pa. And they will allocate funds for this purpose.
Yung 44 government run rehabilitation centers?
Government, ma'am, and privately run.
So yung 44 government and private
Opo,
lang yan?
yes,
So ilan ho yung government, ilan yung private?
15 for the government and for the rest are private, ma'am.
15 ho yung government?
Yes, ma'am.
And saan ho nakaspread out tong 15 na to?
It's all over the country, ma'am. We have a list there. We can submit to you the location of the
Submit,
rehab centers. Yes, ma'am.
Secretary. So sinabi niyo 5,000 lang yung capacity no 44 drug rehab. So what happens dun ho sa nag-surrender na kailangan ng confined? Nasaan na ho sila ngayon?
Well, for the meantime, ma'am, yung walang warrant of arrest, walang tactical information na kailangan, bumabalik po doon sa area nila. They will be monitored by the drug abuse councils in their respective areas, and they will also undergo a program drafted by DDB and the Department of Health.
Sa experience niyo ho ba, how successful is rehabilitation?
That's a tough question, ma'am. From our records, the success rate of our rehab program, yung confined, ma'am, that's about 24% lang ang success rate natin.
So, kumbaga, 24% lang ho talaga yung talagang, kumbaga, nakaka-recover from the addiction? And then the rest, so, parang bumabalik ulit sila dun sa dating gawi.
Yes, ma'am. But this is a health issue. Dahil yung mga shabu po, ma'am, it's it's of chemicals lang. Kaya hindi talaga ma-wash out sa systems. Unlike kung drug, heroin, or poppies na pwedeng ma-detoxify. But yung shabu, ma'am, it cannot be cleansed from the system. Kaya there's a probability of bumabalik sa drug rehab.
Siguro, how much is the cost per drug dependent to have them rehabilitated? Siguro somebody from ang DOH bang in charge sa mga drug rehab centers?
Yes, Madam Senator. The cost per patient is 10,000 per month per patient of our DOH patients situated in all our treatment and rehab centers distributed around the country. But as of now, it is mandated by law, which says that all provinces should have at least one rehabilitation center. But that is yet a dream up to now, Madam Senator. But in reality, there are presently 4 regional and others are LGU maintained rehabilitation centers.
Senator Binay, with your permission, gusto ko lang balikan yung 24% all kinds of drug addiction or pang-shabu lang?
Tama, sir. Marijuana and shabu, sir.
Pang-shabu lang yung 24%?
Marijuana and shabu, sir.
Marijuana and shabu.
Yes, sir.
Yung ibang addiction, kung ito-total mo, ilan yung successful rehabilitation rate?
Mga approximately...
Tataas?
Yes, sir. Plus and minus 2%, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Siguro, Asek Punzalan,
yes.
Sino ang mga provinces yung naka-comply with the requirement?
There are only, region,
Region.
Madam Senator.
Yes.
All the regions, they are DOH operated. The only 4 regions na mayroong rehabilitation centers are LGUs are Marikina, Quezon City, Davao, and one in Laguna. But these are government LGU-run rehabilitation centers. But our existing rehabilitation centers are regional. For example, in Bikutan for NCR, one in Tagaytay for Region 4, and then Region 1 in Dagupan, which is the latest and so far the most modern form of a rehabilitation center built in Region 1 situated in Dagupan City. And the rest of the regional areas like Region 7 and the other regions, including in Mindanao.
How long po is the recovery?
It is a process po, Madam Senator.
Siguro on the average, kasi di ba parang you said we're spending 10,000 a month per patient. So,
medically, it will take about 6 to 12 months. But that depends on the activities and the degree of addiction. So they are so evaluated as such. And there are programs. Your question, Madam Senator, a while ago with regards to the rehabilitated but goes back to the habit is quite high because it involves also, well, religious, as Senator Pacquiao was mentioned, gives a very a helping hand in rehabilitating our patients. But mostly they are affected by the community. When after they are rehabilitated, the community, the people around, the people they lived with, and the solution to their problems, why they resorted to drugs, should also be included in the recovery evaluation. Kaya po, yung iba na rehabilitate na, pagkatapos sila ang bumabalik. Kasi the same community, the same non-supportive elements of the society, and they are, kumbaga, na-typecast na as so stigmatized as drug users. So I think there has to be a unified effort for rehabilitation. Plus, of course, these things, kahit na-rehabilitate natin, but the source is not resolved. Sabi nga po, continually mayroong pinagkukuhanan. The circuit is just the same. May babalik. Pero, kung wala pong nakukuhanan at nare-resolve na po yun ni General De La Rosa and our colleagues, mami-minimize, ma-answer. But the point is, just like the law of supply and demand, pag mas mahirap po ang pagkuha o pagkuha ng supply, tataas po ang presyo. Ganun po, it's still economics. So it's a whole gamut of factors. So it has to be a community-based, wholesome, whole country participation. Also, yung pong sa medical side po kasi, nandyan po kami. We're here to help, to cure Senator Ontiveros as our health leader in the Senate. We could, but it has to be a concerted, like for example, after ng rehabilitation, saan sila pupunta, we have to coordinate with TESDA, yung availability of skills development, yung may babalikan sila. Tapos, nandyan po ang binanggit po ni Secretary Vasco, yung pong babalikan through the po ng plantations, kung nandyan po ang Department of Agriculture, pagbibigay ng agricultural skills, for nation building din, productivity. Marami pong factors. But it's good that ako po, I've been here as an assistant secretary for almost 12, going 13 years as an assistant secretary. I have been within this program, but kakaiba po ngayon. We call it as a influx. Ngayon lang po nagkaroon ng pagkakataon na the surrenderers are coming in by the thousands. Kaya yung pong ating mga rehab centers, punong-puno po at wala pong paglagyan. Kaya nga po, we devised a way, but it would have to follow the requirements, but we will fast track as an initial response, Madam Senator, and Mr. Senator.
Asek Punzalan, kanina ko nabanggit nyo na you've been with the DOH for the past 12 or 13 years. Pwede ho kaya kayong mag-submit ng position paper on yung where we are in terms of rehabilitation?
Yeah.
And baka pwede the way it's presented is not just by numbers, but there's a human face to rehabilitation na hindi lang ho X number yung
yes,
na-rehabilitate, X number bumalik, but yung ano ho talaga yung nangyayari sa kanila, yes, yung sistema ba ho, tama, may pagkukulang ho ba? Qualitative ho and not more than quantity, kasi sa dyaryo, lagi natin naririnig, 600, 1,000, but may mukha tong numero na to, and I sense from your answers, kayo ho yung may experience with them since you've been there for the past 12, 13 years.
We have the
Can you
data.
do it in 3 days? Asek?
Best efforts po.
Hindi best efforts.
The
You tell me if you can do it
submission
or
of the report?
can you do it or can you not do it? Hindi yung best efforts. Malabo yung best efforts, hindi makakarating yan.
Ay, makakarating po. Pagka po
So how many days? How many
Opo.
days?
3 days po.
Okay.
The
Thank you,
report
thank you. That's all.
In fact, it's ready po. We have the data. Ang ano nga lang po ngayon is the different mode of pagdating. Mabilisan po ngayon ang pag-search po ang nangyari. But the data of the rehabilitation centers are intact and I could give it to you even later po. They're ready.
To
With,
share last question na lang
yes.
po. Siguro sa PhilHealth, may existing program ho ba tayo ngayon for drug dependents? Kasi isa ho dun sa final ni Senator Soto is, I think to make it mandatory.
Meron po kaming mga existing benefits that drug dependents can avail of, and these are costed. These belong to the regular PhilHealth benefits, all cases, what we call the all case rates policy, and some of these benefits are in the amount of 6,400, some in 6,700, and some in 7,800. So this address some of the problems of the drug dependents, acute problems.
And what is your position dun sa bill filed by Senator Soto?
Your Honor, we fully support the bill, the proposed revision of the PhilHealth law, incorporating drug rehabilitation treatment as part of the benefit package of PhilHealth.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator Pacquiao. Before I recognize Senator Binay, tanungin ko lang sa Bucor at saka sa BJMP, no? Alam naman natin na yung penal system natin, di ba, more than punitive, rehabilitative. Tanong ko lang, meron bang special rehabilitation program ang Bucor for inmates convicted for violating the Dangerous Drugs Act?
Good morning po. Wala pong specific rehabilitation program for drug dependence, sir. General, sir, yung treatment namin sa lahat ng inmates on the aspect of reformation, sir.
Good morning, sir. Sa case po ng BJMP, considering that we are holding majority of our inmates are still detainees, so wala po kaming rehabilitation program na ano po talaga. Pero we are offering welfare and development activities for the inmates. For example, in coordinations with the DepEd, the Alternative Learning System program is also offered in our facilities. Sa TESDA po yung mga technical programs, education trainings, and also we also have this behavioral shaping activity, yung therapeutic community modality program, na pwede rin po ngang
The maximum. Ito sir yung tinatawag nating, kuminsan tinatawag namin sa Bucor na Supermax. Ito po yung Building 14 na composed of, most of these inmates, numbering 54, ay involved po sa illegal drugs, sir.
Senator Nasan. With the permission of Senator Binay.
Mr. Chairman, to Rolly, no? And June, can you furnish your committee as far back as you can record, no? Broad strokes. Nakakailang raid o halughog na ba tayo sa NBP? Okay?
Yes, sir.
Don't answer that now, no? It must be a comprehensive report. And then, ano ang outcome? Nakakailan na, no? As far as you can remember. Dahil, Mr. Chairman, my point is, we cannot do this forever. Raid tayo ng raid. Something must be wrong. Diba? So I go back to history. How many raids have been conducted? as far as you can remember. Or let's say last 6 years, ganun na lang. No? And then, ano ang outcome? And then, ano ang ginawa after the raid? Because almost on a daily basis, no? Or weekly basis, may nire-raid. May na-uncover. The same materials, cellphones.
I-adapt namin doon sa community, especially doon sa mga nag-surrenders na drug dependents.
Wala ring isolation program sa Bucor. Sama-sama na. As a convict,
Sa ngayon, sir,
ang classification na lang maximum, medium,
and minimum, sir.
and minimum.
Yes, sir. But,
So walang isolation program para sa mga drug convicts.
none, sir. Ang meron lang, sir,
DJMP,
kami,
wala rin.
In view of the kakulangan sa space, hindi po talaga ma-isolate.
Yeah, you were about to say something pa.
sa ngayon lang, sir, meron lang, sir, kami yung high risk, in-isolate po namin from